Hi, welcome to Barb's Kitchen Center. My name is Celeste and this is my test kitchen. Today we're going to talk about vanilla and make our own vanilla. Homemade vanilla is a great gift for someone who is a baker, or it's a great housewarming gift, or just something fun to do for yourself. So, first of all, we're going to talk about kinds of vanilla. Vanilla is, I found out, the second most expensive spice in the entire world, right behind saffron, and it is from the flower of an orchid. So there's three types. There's Tahitian vanilla, which can be very sweet and very, very floral. There is Madagascar or bourbon vanilla, which is a little bit spicier, not quite as floral. And then there's Mexican vanilla, which is, of the three, is the least floral, but still an excellent vanilla. Here in the store, we carry the Mexican vanilla as well as the Madagascar vanilla. Either one is fine for any of your baking, and it's just really truly a matter of preference. There are also other products made with vanilla. There's vanilla bean paste. Again, we have the Madagascar vanilla and we have the Mexican vanilla. And it's just vanilla beans in a liquid that's sort of gooey and a little bit of sugar. So it adds a little extra flavor without becoming an overwhelming vanilla flavor in your baking or cooking. So when you're buying vanilla beans, what you want to look for is an origin or source information on the packaging. So here you can see it on the small writing on the sides and on this one as well. For this vanilla bean that we get from Germany, the information comes separately. It's not on the packaging, but if you want to know, we're happy to show you that information because we have asked for it. So how do you tell when you're buying vanilla beans if you're getting a good vanilla bean? Well, if you can take it out and touch it and feel it, what you want to know is, can you tie it in a knot without breaking it? Eventually, over time, it doesn't have to be a tight knot, just a knot like this. Eventually, over time, they get very dry. And so when you try to do this, it'll just snap. That doesn't mean the vanilla is bad. It just means it's very, very dried out. So you could still use it to make homemade vanilla, but really it's best if you just stick the whole thing, pod and all, in a blender and just crush it up into a powder. And then you can add that powder to your sugar and make vanilla sugar, or you can add it to a cookie recipe, and that is super awesome because it gives you a really strong vanilla flavor. And it's actually one of my favorite things to do with vanilla beans that have gone old. Or if you put a little bit in your coffee or a little bit in your tea, and it's super good in your hot chocolate. So that's pretty much all you need to know when you're buying vanilla. So I guess we can go ahead and now we can make vanilla. So we're going to make our own vanilla. The first thing you're going to need is a bottle of some sort of spirit. So I will often make three types of vanilla. I'll make one with rum, and I'll use either a light or amber rum, but not a spiced rum because you don't want to impart any real extra flavor into it. Vodka is always a good choice, or scotch. A nice scotch, not a super expensive scotch, but just like a nice single malt scotch, so it's not blended, so it doesn't have a lot of flavors in it, and your vanilla beans, and it is excellent in any kind of chocolate baking you're doing because the scotch just adds an extra oomph to that, and it goes fabulously with chocolate. So I've taken a little bit of vodka out because once you put the beans in, it will often overflow and you need a little bit of headspace. So, you can pour yourself a cocktail if you want. I will not judge. So I'm not quite sure what happened to that one, but whatever. There's enough of it gone that it'll work. So then you just simply split your bean from top to bottom. Whoop. Try to do it a little more evenly than that, but it'll work. Very skinny bean. So, and then you can see all of the lovely seeds in there. You can, if you like, scrape them out and put them into the bottle, but as long as they're exposed like this, all you really have to do is simply slide it into the bottle. I like using 6 beans. I find that seems to be the magic number for me. And so we will continue to split beans and put them in as we get them opened. It'll take about 4 to 6 weeks sitting in your cupboard for it to turn into vanilla. Along the way, once the bottle gets about half empty, if you want to add some more spirit to it, whether that's vodka, scotch, or rum, I would then add a couple more vanilla beans too, but these beans are probably good for 2 or 3 fills of the bottle before they really lose their potency. But adding a couple extra ones just speeds up the process a little more, and if you are making your homemade vanilla on a regular basis, you always want to have vanilla in your cupboard. So, and again, the longer you leave this, the stronger the vanilla will become. And here we go. And it will become darker over time as well. The beans will turn it into a nice, the brown you're usually used to seeing when you buy vanilla in the store. The only thing you don't want to do, I feel like my mother waving my knife around and talking. The only thing you don't want to do with your own homemade vanilla is use it in raw preparations. So if you're making an uncooked pudding, do not use your homemade vanilla because the alcohol will overwhelm the flavor of the pudding. It'll still taste great, but it'll be very boozy and have a bitter aftertaste to it. So all my beans are split, all my beans are inside. Put the lid back on, give it a little shake, and now it'll sit in the cupboard for 4 to 6 weeks, and I will have fabulous homemade vanilla.